How many times have you driven by Dijon's restaurant on Highway 61 and wondered what the old brick chimney was on the east side of the road? We hope this piece will enlighten you to a bygone era of West Feliciana and Star Hill Plantation.
Hi, I'm Liz DeVoli. I'm with the environmental section at DOTD, and we are the ones sponsoring the excavations going on right now. We have a project that will provide additional travel lanes on US 61. It's going to be let for construction this fall. And we're doing this work in advance of that so we can record as much as we can about the Star Hill Sugar Mill ruins and have that data preserved in terms of a report and other documentation. So it's recorded instead of just lost.
Is this something y'all do on a routine basis as part of the Department of Transportation?
Yes, it is. We do this when we've identified archaeological sites within our right-of-way for a project, and we discover during the early parts of the investigations that there appears to be information, usually subsurface, that will provide more information on a certain time period in history perhaps. It could be prehistoric or historic. And this is part of our legal obligation under Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act.
My name is Katie Coyle. I'm a senior historian with R. Christopher Goodman and Associates. We do archaeology and history research. Well, we're out here at the Star Hill Plantation in West Feliciana Parish, about 5 miles outside of Saint Francisville. And this plantation, this area where the dig is happening, used to be a sugar mill. It was built in about 1849, and it only operated for about 10 years. Owned by Jehu and Henry Perkins. They moved here from Kentucky in the 1830s, and Henry Perkins' old plantation house, the billiard hall, is on the National Register just around the hill right there.
Okay, thank you. And how long do you spend doing this?
Well, this dig right here has taken about 2.5 months, and then we've got a very rapid turnaround for the reporting procedure. So we'll have a draft report on this in the next 30 days or so.
Did you find in your research, did you find any pictures, photographs, or of the existing mill or something similar to it?
We didn't really find any pictures of the existing mill because by the end of the Civil War, which really is the very beginning of modern photography, the mill had run into ruin by that point. But what we did find was, we know that this plantation purchased steam sugar equipment, steam processing equipment from the Novelty Iron Works of New York. And we know that Novelty Iron Works were the producer of a steam machine that was patented by Francois de Rosny, a Frenchman. It was sort of, he was a competitor with Norbert Rioux, who was a Louisiana native, a free man of color, in building these evaporation pans. It was a really major advancement in sugar processing, and we know that this particular sugar house used the de Rosny plan, and we have that patent that gives an outline of what de Rosny's recommendation for the layout of a sugar mill is.
What was unique about this particular era in sugar processing, or it was pre-Civil War, so is there anything unique about this particular site that was the introduction of a new age in processing? Or
yeah, this site is really this mill was way ahead of its time. In the antebellum period before the Civil War, the overwhelming majority of plantations had every single plantation had an individual mill. But out here, and then following the Civil War, largely because of a labor shortage, the mills organized around what's called a central factor system, where there would be one centralized mill, and the sugar from 10 or 12 or 15 different plantations would be processed at that one place. Well, this mill, which starts to operate in 1850-1851 season, is designed specifically to be a large-scale industrial mill that is organized to process raw sugar from many, many, many different plantations. We found a contract between the Perkins family and Kelly Conningham and Company, which is a sugar factors out of New Orleans, pledging to that Kelly Conningham and Company will provide raw sugar for the Perkins family for Star Hill to refine, that they will then sell back to Kelly Conningham and Company the refined processed sugar for their distribution. So it's an unusual and unusually early industrial milling site.
Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.